Today in the crypto space, we see the market looking pretty strong. Bitcoin above the $58,000 mark, Ethereum right around 2,300, and the rest of the crypto space, the altcoins, some of them deep in the green like Near Protocol, SUI, Toncoin, and many others. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project that is definitely nice and calm at the bottom of the range, waiting for its turn, and that project is called ZEUS. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with this market, guys. We've been seeing a lot of good price action with some of these altcoins. Guys, if you've been paying attention to Tectum today, Tectum is up 31%, definitely showing a lot of strength. We have SUI doing pretty good, up approximately 12.5%. Guys, and if you notice, those are the projects that I've been covering here significantly here on the channel in the last little while. You can see that definitely staying one step ahead of the market is the strategy here on the channel. Yesterday's video, Tectum rallying up pretty hard. We have SUI doing pretty good. We're looking for our wave to wake up. We have Terra waking up as well. Mint Layer still doing very well. And if you look at Toncoin, it's also doing very well. Guys, the market is doing good, and we need to stay one step ahead by finding the bottom dwellers. And of course, today, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. We're going to be talking about ZEUS, because definitely ZEUS is at the bottom of the range, looking for potential support. I think the narrative is good. I think the overall project has some good fundamentals. You know, it's part of that Bitcoin narrative scenario that could be definitely interesting to see it wake up in the last little while. I think that Bitcoin narrative is definitely undervalued, and we could see some attention into that narrative in the next little while, led by projects like Tectum and Mint Layer and many others. So it could be definitely the case. So we're going to give a bit of attention to ZEUS today. But before we do that, let's look at the general market. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as a leading indicator, and then we'll take a look at the ZEUS chart. You can see that overall the market is still grinding to the upside, nice and slowly, of course. Bitcoin up 1.7%. Ethereum not doing as well, so I imagine that the Bitcoin dominance right now is doing pretty good. But the altcoins, guys, we see BNB, Solana doing great, even XRP. The question is that if we kind of like amalgamate all the top altcoins in the top, let's say 20, do they have enough strength even to basically substitute Ethereum's strength? Look at Ethereum's market cap, it's massive, and if you couple all these together, it's going to take quite a few of them to actually make a difference, or even, you know, replace Ethereum's strength that it has. So this is one of my major concerns, that without Ethereum, it's very difficult to see the Bitcoin dominance fall. So I'm rooting for Ethereum, of course. I'm rooting for Ethereum, not because I'm a major holder, guys. Reality is I like those micro caps. But if you like the micro caps, you want to see strength in Ethereum to lead this way, to give us a signal, to get the altcoin season going. As we continue going down, you do see a lot of good gainers. Toncoin, you know, even Cardano's doing pretty good. We have Chainlink, you know, up a little bit, and a lot of these structures are definitely being broken to the upside, which is good. We have Caspa waking up a little bit right now, not bad as well. And a lot of projects, guys, I can keep on scrolling down. We're showing strength. SUI's up 12.5%, doing pretty good, up almost 30% in the last 7 days, guys. That is a great scenario for SUI. If you're a SUI holder, guys, I've been, you know, accumulating SUI for the last little while as well. So I appreciate the fact that when we saw SUI get that retracement, we were starting to see some bullish signals, and that's when we take risks, guys. When we're at the bottom of the range, we do see Stacks showing some strength as well. That leverage, you know, strategy, knowing that Stacks definitely runs up with Bitcoin, and if we see Bitcoin looking strong, Stacks should definitely follow that signal. So again, I released a video about that strategy earlier on before the rally up, so we should be in some good profits if you have taken a trade or an entry on stacks, and the list goes on, guys. The list goes on. You can see that there are many good gainers, but there are some that are still at the bottom of the range, looking for a reversal, looking for their turn, waiting for their turn. And this is why I chose to talk about ZEUS today, because again, it's part of that Bitcoin narrative, but at the same time, it's at the bottom of the range. All right, so let's begin. I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, at the end of the day, is showing strength in the short term. In the midterm, it could get a rejection right around this level. Why? Because we have the 200 daily EMA and we have the horizontal resistance still there to deal with. But if you get into the long term, you can see that ultimately, guys, we're waiting for this bullish breakout. We're waiting for the bulls to take control of this market and push the market cap much higher and get to that bullish target, maybe 5-6 trillion. Let's see where we get to. But ultimately, we need to see Bitcoin break structure and move to the upside. Guys, let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. You can see that Bitcoin's doing a great job in the last little while. We got nice green moves to the upside, nice horizontal support levels, guys, defined way early back. You know, these lines and all these colorful lines that people laugh about, the reality is they work. They help you get an edge. They're not perfect. They're not 100% certainty, but they do help you get an edge over the market. Guys, we respected TA here. We didn't respect TA here. We got a huge dip, of course, a nice capitulation wick, got bought up real quick, and then all of a sudden we're coming down for a back test. Still double bottom, excluding the wicks for sure. There's class B bullish divergence most likely here on these bottoms, and then we start looking for a short-term reversal, some follow through, and which is what we're getting right now. The question is, do we get above the 200 daily? Do we get above the horizontal resistance, previous support levels? And do we get back to the top of the range, which is right around 70,000? Guys, we got a bit of work to do. That's the reality. In the meantime, I'm not really focused on Bitcoin positions per se. I'm looking at Bitcoin as an indicator as to what the market could be doing. Chop zone still, even in the short term, we don't see much volatility on the momentum, unfortunately. The expansion, look at this expansion, that one and this one, they're getting smaller over time, which you can see clearly that the bears are not as strong as they were in this retracement. You know, decent retracement, broadening, descending megaphone pattern, and then ultimately the bias should be a break to the upside. Statistically speaking, that's what should happen. Now, if we look at the trend, EMA cross, green histogram bar, to get into the bullish control zone and get this thing going. We do see that divergence also between these two bottoms. Class B bullish divergence, definitely there. So this is what we're looking at for Bitcoin. Could Bitcoin slowly start getting some follow through out of this retracement and breaking structure to the upside? Break a structure, meaning break the previous highs and go for the next leg up. Guys, super bullish. And quickly, let's look at big picture again, because we look at the different time frames. Short term, bullish, midterm, okay, be careful with a tad bearish, but long term, guys, look at this cup and handle. Keep an eye on it, guys. If we break out of this retracement, it's the handle of the cup. We start breaking out, breaking character, and start making higher highs and breaking above this high, guys. We already kind of did, but you get what I mean? We start breaking to the upside. Guys, things are going to start looking hectic out here. We're going to start seeing lots of capital, lots of FOMO, lots of volatility, lots of gains. All right, guys, let's move on. Let's take a look at ZEUS, a project that I did cover in the past. I'm bullish. You know, I'm a bullish on a lot of projects, but I'm more bullish on the price action, of course, because of course you're bullish fundamentally. Fundamentals, they're slow moving, but price action with volatility, sometimes, you know, you got to take full advantage of that. And you can see clearly the structure is strong. We could potentially get into a position where we get a bit of confidence that we are not coming down lower. And the only reason why I say that is because invalidation is super clear here. As clear as it can be is, you know, when you start to see these bottoms like this, you know where your invalidation is. It's pretty much these bottoms. You got 1, 2, 3 bottoms here. You got the accumulation range that I've been suggesting in the last little while, guys. I put yellow boxes, if you know my language here on this chart. Red boxes are weakness, volume gaps. Yellow boxes are accumulation ranges. Green arrows are areas of which we need to watch out for, and let's see what kind of reactions we get. Red arrows are equal to that, but in a bearish way. If we get to the upside, these arrows, guys, be careful, we get rejected. Guys, we've done it before, you get what I mean? And we filled up the bit of the volume gap, and look how it respected that level perfectly. Right? So we got to understand that. We got to be level to level. We got to reevaluate our thesis, reevaluate our positions, reevaluate our emotional status. But at this current moment, guys, it's clear invalidation. Down here, risk to reward is absolutely epic. And we do see the price trending very nicely sideways and looking for a break above the previous top, which would take us through the volume gap once again. Now, I am aware that the previous price action did fill up the volume gap just a little bit. Okay, you can see that based on this spike of volume here and there, right into this level. It's no longer as concave and empty as it was before, prior to this price action being painted. So we have to understand that we got a little bit of a few nodes of volume that could act as resistance, but the reality is, ask yourself this: what is happening in this range? If you kind of stretch this out, it is higher lows, slightly, but that's accumulation. Slightly higher highs in the sense, if you exclude the wicks, fine, the bodies are closing a lot more bullish than the previous bodies. So all we could do is come down, pick up some more bullish bids, back test the previous high right here, and make another low and a confirmation low for a higher high and start moving to the upside. And this is going to start looking really bullish after a while. And then people are going to be like, okay, should I have bought the dip? Should I have scaled in? Should I have, when is it going to come back for that retracement? So the reality is this. The reality is, bears are going to call this a bear flag. Okay, I get it. And it is factual to say that it looks like a bear flag. Impulsive move down, consolidation, impulsive move down. It's very possible. But with this invalidation here, you know how to do your setup to mitigate all kinds of risk and obviously the losses. That's the main priority as a trader, is to get into setups where you can defend yourself appropriately in case you see the market fall, but at the same time keep yourself in an offensive position where you can maximize some gains. You want those returns, right? So let's take a look at oscillators here for a second. You can see that we're doing pretty good as well. Let's kind of zoom in here. You see as the price action is going sideways, and we see clear divergence to the upside as we're going sideways. So that's class B bullish divergence. Yes, the price action has a very slight, modest bias to the upside, but the momentum has much more. You can see we're clearly moving to the upside. We had a massive expansion here, and then all of a sudden this one is a lot weaker. And you can see over time, as we get these expansions to the downside, you see that the bears are losing their strength as they push down, and as we form those bottoms and those horizontal levels, and we see the trend oscillator slowly diverging as well, you can see these expansions getting smaller and smaller and slowly consolidating. And let's zoom in here a little bit more and see what's going on. We do see an EMA cross to the upside with green histogram bars, and we do see the EMAs trying to get into the bullish control zone. So very important times here for the momentum, because just to say, look at the trend of the EMAs. It's trending to the upside, guys. And look at the trend of the expansions, definitely trending to the upside. And as we get into the bullish control zone, which is the top half of the oscillator, I'm going to expect to get some follow through to the upside. And if the narrative is one that picks up, this Bitcoin narrative type of concept, guys, we're going to see some good gains. We've seen Tectum today run up. We've seen Mint Layer run up in the last little while. Mint Layer is doing good today, but it had its moment a couple of days back. We're seeing a lot of good things coming out of this Bitcoin narrative, and especially the ones that are side chains or layer twos, to Bitcoin. Those I much more appreciate, right? I'm not looking for ordinals or anything like that. I'm looking for side chains and layer twos. Those for me are software solutions that could definitely leverage Bitcoin's technology without affecting the Bitcoin network. So I'm definitely interested in seeing what happens there. And as a layer two, we see that the Bitcoin layer two narrative is very, very small with regards to market cap. There's not much happening in that space, and I feel like could definitely pick up. Why not leverage Bitcoin technology, one of the most stable and trustworthy tech out there? Why not have a layer two for it? If Ethereum can do it, why can't Bitcoin do it? So you get what I mean. So let's clean up this artwork and let's get back into the chart, and let's talk about a setup and why I would consider this a great opportunity to start DCAing, because leverage positions come and go, right? They're quick in and out type of scenario, unless you're going to get into a big margin position, which is not bad, of course, not bad of a scenario. Get into a leverage positions, low leverage position with fat amount of margin. That way your liquidation price is down here somewhere, to the point that it has a lot more wiggle room to kind of fall if it does fall. And that's what I want to talk about right now, because what about if it does go bullish? Let's hypothetically say we get in right now. Okay, and let's hypothetically say, to be modest, we'll put our stop loss down here. The absolute low. If we break the low and come down to the absolute low and consider this a bear flag where we come down for lower lows, guys, we'll be down approximately 39%. And you're probably saying, dang, that's a huge loss. Well, guess what? You can mitigate that loss by reducing your position size, right? Control your risk via position size. keep that in mind. We're talking about spot as well, not leverage positions. This would be crazy risky unless you're going to get into some margin and your risk tolerance can handle it. And of course, you have the capital to back it. It all depends what kind of trader you are and of course your risk tolerance and risk profile. Okay, so just keep that in mind. But once we start looking at potential take profit zones, we start looking at, okay, you know, we fly through this volume gap. I understand this was resistance in the past. Yeah, it could be possible. Risk to reward is not healthy here. Not healthy at all. Look at it. It's only 1.5 to 1 ratio. No, thank you. We come to this level. Now things start to look interesting. This is previous highs right before breaking through a volume gap. We could get rejected here. However, the risk to reward ratio gets into our level, 3 to 1 more or less. Okay, 3.5 to 1, 3.25 to 1. These are the ratios that I appreciate. So we start to understand that we'll be up over 100%, 125%, not even breaking through the volume gap, which the volume gap gives us an opportunity because there's weakness above. So I'm talking about a big reversal structure. We obviously have to break above this high. We obviously have to break above this high. It's got a lot of work to do. But if we get into a mentality of deploying capital based on spot, we have patience. We can expect peaks and valleys along the way as we start breaking these horizontals to the upside. We have patience, and eventually we'll start getting into price discovery. We'll start seeing the bull run, the altcoin season, and you would have gotten the best entries out there on projects such as ZEUS that you're interested in. Look for those bottom dwelling projects. You want to see those prices at the bottom of the range. Tectum, Minlayer, all these other ones right now are doing very, very well. These are not times to deploy capital. You might be exit liquidity. Just understand the risk. So look for these bottom dwellers because they have great opportunity. And of course, we could see ZEUS and many other projects get into price discovery, all-time highs, and start moving to the upside. Crazy, crazy price action. And you would look back and say, you know what? I bought the bottom. Guys, slow and steady. Do not FOMO. I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST talking about crypto news and price action. It's a great time and place to request any projects you are interested in. We'll look over the setups. We'll look over the charts. We'll talk about probability and all that. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. See you tonight, and have a good and don't forget, buy the dip.